The story starts with a saying that whoever possesses the Spear of Destiny can assist the entire world and will have the world in their hands as long as they hold the spear. Basically, I've been lost since the moment Ahmad's love ended, that's it. Let me remind you of something simple, my friend. This is just a movie, in the beginning and in the end, and anything that exists in this movie, I don't believe in it, and you shouldn't believe in it either. It's just imagination, my friend. That's it. Now, let's continue and move on to the next part, and we'll see what happens next. They were digging through graves, searching for sellable items. One of them broke open an underground box and found something inside, a spear wrapped in the Nazi world. As he holds it, he feels something strange and hears weird sounds. In the scene, a man becomes possessed and leaves his friend behind. Suddenly, he is attacked from behind and knocked down, with a strange symbol appearing on his hand. However, he gets up unharmed and starts running. The scene then shifts to Los Angeles, America. An elderly woman, while making breakfast and tea, discovers her daughter walking on the ceiling, causing shock. The scene appears horrific, suggesting the girl is possessed. The woman then calls John Constantine, a spiritual healer and magician, for help. He goes to cast out the demon possessing her daughter. At the house, he meets a priest named Hensi, though I'm unsure if I pronounced his name correctly.
Ignore it, it's not important.
A priest, unsure how to handle the situation, speaks with a man about a girl tied to a bed, attempting to help in any way possible. Afterward, he continues attempting to determine the specific type and nature of the jinn possessing her, and how to exorcise it. The priest makes gestures and approaches the girl, speaking unintelligible words, attempting to force the entity out of her against its will, rather than letting it leave voluntarily. When he finds her responding with the jinn's voice, he makes a sign on her face, causing the girl to scream for a while. That's the usual process. John later discovered that the jinn, which was supposed to be burned, wasn't actually burned. He realizes that a demonic entity has possessed the woman's body, attempting to leave her and enter our world. In John's case, he instructs the woman's family to bring large mirrors to the window. He instructs the taxi drivers, including Ine, to relocate the taxi from the window and share his statements with others. And this makes the family stand and hold the mirrors above the woman's bed, so that the devil sees himself in the mirrors. John instructs everyone not to open their eyes regardless of what they hear. He says the possessed person will start after his warning. John then performs an incantation to exorcise the devil from the girl's body. It was nearly over, but one of those present opened his eyes to see what was happening and what the talk was about. The man's hair instantly turned gray. From what he saw, his hair turned white in that moment out of fear. He left the mirror and fell to the ground, terrified. After a struggle, John successfully expels the demon and traps it inside the mirror, preventing its escape as the balcony glass shatters. Apparently, the demon dies, though I'm unsure what that means exactly. Let's leave it to God. After he dies, John notices a drawing in the girl's lamp, just as he's about to leave. The drawing depicted her being possessed. Why did his friend see this drawing appear? By sheer coincidence, John takes the drawing with him. And then he goes to discuss with the priest, whose name is Hensi, and he wasn't really convinced about how there could be a demon that wants to possess a human and escape from the world of evil. John tells him, don't just stand there, do something. If you ever come across another case like this, talk to me, because you can't just ignore it. Then Assam joins them, and they all get in the car with Tashais. According to reports, the man is driving and accompanying the other person because he aspires to be like him and perform exorcisms and communicate with demons for the rest of his life. John returns home after a conversation. Later, Angela visits the priest at the church to talk. As a police officer, she feels guilty for killing someone today. She reveals that sometimes she can see the criminal's dreams when she takes their life. She feels cursed by God, but the priest reassures her it's normal and to continue fulfilling her duty without letting it affect her mentally, as she's simply doing her job. When she sleeps at home, she dreams of her twin sister in a mental hospital. In the dream, her sister escapes, bearing the devil's mark on her hand, and jumps off the hospital roof into the water below. You still don't understand anything, and what is she doing again? On that day, John was in the hospital, and the doctor told him that the lung cancer had spread throughout his entire lung because of all the cigarettes he's been smoking and burning, and that he needs to quit smoking. My son, you've been smoking cigarettes since you were 16, more than a pack a day, my son. You're destroying your lungs, my son. But I just want to put out this cigarette with you. My friend refuses to quit smoking and doesn't believe me when I say it's harmful. He thinks it's normal and not a big deal, but it's killing me. He says he's been smoking like this all last year. All of this is just showing off and acting cool, but in the end, he's going to die from cigarettes. Every morning after eating beans, he lights up a cigarette and then he just goes on with his day. Anyway, after that, we'll see what happens. Angel went to the hospital for her sister, Isabel, who had committed suicide, just as she had seen in a dream. Angel couldn't believe it had actually happened, that her sister could take her own life using chemicals, leaving evidence that it was suicide, not a crime. After that, John goes to a bar that's literally full of people who are barely human, all possessed, and it's a dark night. So, your important hour, he enters after Kai. Midnight, the owner of the place, informs him about the events of the previous day. including how the entity pursuing him emerged and its desire to enter our world. Midnight believes something is amiss, as demons can only whisper and tempt, but not physically enter the human realm. John remains unsettled, suspecting the demons are scheming. A disguised demon named Alfazar enters, and John, feeling very uncomfortable, finds himself in an unfamiliar situation that becomes history for him. As he was about to stab his hand into his back, Midnight intervenes, reminding them to respect the rules. He says, "Hey, you son of a gun! You two can fight later." Afterwards, John goes home to find Angela approaching, wanting something. She asks him a few questions, and when he finds out she's from the police, he lets her in and offers her a drink. She tells him everything about herself and her sister, and she tells him that her sister died in the hospital by suicide, and that before she died, before she was admitted to the hospital, she was surprised to be discussing jinn and devils. At that moment, he suggests her death might be related to this, and they could be responsible, but he has a different perspective. He implies that she's rambling nonsense, just crazy mountain talk. He then tells her to leave, as nothing is missing and they're already lost. But he and his friends see outside the house. When she's walking, there are some devils following her, so he quickly goes after her to catch up with her, and he starts talking to her a bit about the devils, and he tells her that there is a covenant between them and the divine. May God Almighty be concealed. As I mentioned, this is just a movie, and nothing here should be believed. There's a covenant between devils and the divine. And supposedly, the devils can't do anything to humans except just whisper to them. Nothing more and nothing less. Suddenly, the priest walks through the street and the devils reveal their powers. John fights and defeats them all. Angela decides to stay with him for protection and to understand the situation. So what does the whole thing mean from the word itself? What does it have to do with everything that's happening? And what's the story with her sister? Then he goes to her house and tells her, "Sorry, I just need some hot water or anything just from the tap." Isabel, her sister, asks what she means by the tap. She explains that she took something from her own bathroom, something that belongs to her. Angela brings him her watch. He sits on the chair with his feet in the water, holding her watch. He tells Angela to go outside, "You, woman," and begins his rituals. He nearly enters a hellish world of devils, using her watch to search for Isabel. He sees Isabel there, calling to him and holding her watch. The hospital bracelet on the patient's hand had their information. She attempts suicide again, and he chases after her once to stop her. I also run after her to prevent the suicide attempt. Afterwards, he leaves. He takes the bracelet with difficulty and wakes up, emitting smoke from his body. He calls out to Angela, who finds him in this state, and he tells her that there's a spot in hell, meaning it's like she fell in there, like she literally fell into hell. Then he gives her back her bracelet, the one he took from her. I mean, you can't really understand it. I didn't get it either. Anyway, he moves on to something else. Father Henze visited the morgue to see Angela's sister. He returned her watch and held her hand, which bore the devil's mark. Suddenly, he noticed the clouds. The man is almost possessed. He wanted to drink alcohol to get rid of the evil spirit possessing him. But he has no alcohol and doesn't want to mix anything. Will he be okay? The key point is that he rushes to a bar or any disreputable place, intending to sin by drinking. However, he's unable to because the mushroom isn't cooperating. He wants to come down from the high, from what he's on, you know? He's desperate for relief, but it won't go away just like that, and it won't go away anyway. When I go out with my close friends, I keep an eye on them and observe what's happening. I'm usually the reason behind the events that unfold, though only God knows for sure. He's dying inside, but tries to help himself before he goes. After that, I go to John and Angel. He confesses to her that in his youth, he saw supernatural beings like jinn, demons, and spirits that others couldn't perceive. As he aged, his family believed he was mentally ill and committed him to a mental hospital. There, he underwent electroshock therapy and torture, leading to his clinical death. And he died clinically. He died clinically. For about 2 minutes once, and death took him to the other world. And he saw everything there about the jinn and the devils, as if he had actually gone there for those 2 minutes. He sat. For many years, he stayed with the spirits, and when he came back again, out of his happiness, he decided to expel the devils and send them back to hell, hoping that the Lord and God would be pleased with him and let him enter paradise instead of hell. What's important is the companionship. Angela gets a call about this dead body, so she goes to investigate the matter, and John goes with her at that time. He gets very upset when he sees the dead body because it was someone he knew. He discovers his friend had cut his hand in the sign of the devil, revealing something terrible. He then confides in another friend. He asks about the symbol and tells him to inform him if he learns anything. So after that, he tries to find out from Angela what happened to her sister, and then they go to the house and keep discussing with her, trying to understand what happened and searching for things in the house because he wants to understand why. No, Moasaf, I want to know what the entire situation is about. And she tells him at that time that her sister used to be exactly like that, seeing jinn and devils, and her mother got scared of her and threw her out into the yard. He also finds out from Angela that she and her sister, they left messages on the house windows. When you blow on the glass, you see a message from her sister saying that the devil's son is trying to possess her. The devil's son himself? In a state of madness, she asks her friend Bayman about a sign in the clouds. Bayman tells her it is for the son of Iblis, the devil. He rebelled against the rule and decided to create his own kingdom, with the goal of crossing over to the human world, connecting the topics together. Bayman, the father of the clouds, senses something strange and almost has a vision. He tells John that he feels it and is afraid because he must act now. I wish you would die so you could stay dead. Your name is wrong, so I don't want to say your name again. It's wrong a lot. Anyway, when he describes the reflection of John and Angela to me, they meet later and he says he died from a lot of bugs. Thank God he died, because I don't want to say your name a lot. That's what's important. And after that, the clouds are talking together. Angela tells him that she used to be like her sister in the past, and she sees things like her. When they called her crazy and hospitalized her, she stopped talking and shut down, no longer seeing anything. But she still yearns to see again. Meaningful. I'm not someone who just watches, so I decided to help her with this matter, but there's no regret about this decision. He takes her to perform rituals, showing her the other world, jinn, demons, and nonsense. He surrounds her after Manny's palm, leaving her in water where she nearly drowns, but prevents her from escaping. Time slowed down, and she realized her condition before fainting. For a brief moment, she understood his intention to kill her. She describes seeing her sister in a strange ritual, as if her body was floating among the clouds. She notices the ritual belongs to Amina, who was beside him. John realizes this and leaves with her, continuing to fight and hit him until he discovers the truth. The son of the devil will be resurrected through Eva. Remember at the beginning, the summary was all about the Spear of Destiny, Abu al-Sahab. That's the one who will be resurrected through it. And that he needs Angela, and in the end, John dies in the ritual. And at that moment, he takes the spear and Angela and pulls her away as they're walking. Abu al-Sahab then notices that Angela is being pulled away from his side, upwards, and she's getting farther from him. At that moment, John quickly heads to the midnight bar, and he keeps shooting at anyone trying to stop him until, finally, he reaches midnight. And he tells him that he wants to use the chair. He says, this chair, look, I'll tell you as we're talking, if you use it, God will speed things up for you. He tells him that the chair of Abu al-Sahab is actually an execution chair, and it lets you see truths about the other world. It's the gateway between the two worlds, our world and the world of the demons. And this is its use with the companion. It's a neutral thing. The important thing is the companion. After that, John understands from midnight everything that happened and that he really does need to use this chair. John sits on the chair and is strapped in. Water is poured under his feet, and Midnight stands by him before putting the lamp into John's body, transporting him to the other world. And he sees the man who took the Spear of Fate at the very beginning of the movie and how he went to the hospital and died there. Isabel is Angela's sister. In the presence of her, there are two powerful lines. He grabs Jono and chokes him, but his friends intervene. Afterwards, Jono heads to the hospital with his driver, his name was Cheese. He was at the end of the movie, and we don't see him after that. Hospitalized Angel falls into the pool where her sister died. She sees the man with the spear approaching and starts shooting at him. But, of course, he doesn't die, my friends. Then Amina John arrives and meets the demons there, and tells them that it's time for them to either go back to hell or be killed. And that's when the valley shakes. This is the cross in the water, to make the water holy. Ah, that's how it becomes holy, you know. Then they activate the water and pour it on all the demons, and Amina John fights them all with the weapon he has and kills them. And that's when Angela burned in the pool and went straight to hell. At that moment, the possessed girl is completely freed and returns to reality. And then John and Chaz go to get the demon out of her, and they keep reading strange things over her. Unfortunately, Chaz dies, and the demon is defeated, Angela's womb, so she was basically pregnant with it. Anyway, at that moment, the press is called in. John met an angel in the body of a human, and her name is Gabriel. Gabriel. Gabriel Martinez.
Gabriel.
Gabriel is always on my mind, and I won't let go of him. Hello, Gabriel. My friend is like an angel, always helping and finding his way through tough times. What he does is amazing, and we'll try to tell you everything without sounding silly. The important thing is that this angel created the night. I want to speak in... Outside of us, she spoke so that they could come out to the land. How do you think about the angel? Yahuwah means, and as I go, his son didn't work. He's just a king who does all this, but to no avail. What can we do? God is sufficient for us and the best disposer of affairs. The king's companions then keep him away from the body and drive him out completely, leaving him helpless. So
He commits suicide.
that's it, really. By God, it's clear that he's mentally unstable. The important thing is that he's committing suicide. Dima, for sure he's committing suicide because of something serious. At this time, just like that, Angela will be stabbed with a spear, causing her heart to stop. Lucifer will then take John to hell, telling him, "Look at what's happening to your son and how he's ending up." If Lucy was unaware of the events, she would go to Lucifer right away. The angel Gabriel stops her from killing Angela and returns as an example of hell, burning and becoming a weak, ordinary human. Lucifer comes to take John to hell, but a great light appears and takes him because he was a good, righteous man. And the energy doesn't know how, really. And in the end, it turns out that he lived and didn't die. He got another chance to continue his journey in fighting the devils. In the end, he gives the spear to Angela, telling her to keep it safe as he continues his mission to destroy the devils. This is meant to conclude here. If the final part was unclear, I can clarify it individually with each companion. Look, man. Now, when John found that there was absolutely no solution he could do, he did the only thing he could. He killed himself. Why did he kill himself? Because he knew that if the demon took his soul, it would be a big deal. Amina is big. He goes to the pain, Ahun just goes to the pain, Lucifer. So, this is connected with John. At that moment when Lucifer came to take John with him to hell. They advised seeking help as the son, trapped between worlds, desires to rebel and enter the human world. In doing so, he dishonored both the angel and his own son, dragging his son back to hell. Unfortunately, John, seen as cute, helpless, and beautiful, is the son in question. He got a second chance from the Lord of this movie, who let him live again, because he was a good man. He continues to stay in the middle between the devils, as if the Lord of the movie is the one in this world, that in this movie, he wasn't strong enough to defeat them on his own. No. I swear, it's because of you, the only one who knows this. You, the important book boy. As long as you've made it to this moment, my friend, I want to tell you that Tota lost her story. And bear witness that there is no God. There is no God but Allah, and I am Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. Just so you don't get the wrong idea, because I am. There is no God but Allah, and I am Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. I'm going to get up, make ablution, and pray now, so I'll be sitting. We thank Allah for Islam's blessings, but what's been happening with us recently? What are we forgetting? Follow me, Karim Osama, who edited this video, and Ahmed Osama, who focused on this basket on Instagram. Like and share my mom's page on Facebook, and subscribe to the channel for the guys. I'm carrying it with the neighborhood. Subscribe to Elgenda, Haduda Masreya, Haduda Anime, Elgenda's Limits, Gaming's Limits, and my personal channel, Hassan Fady. I'm working on something. See you in the next video, God willing. Peace be upon you.